Hey guys, it's Tarkus from Tarkus Gaming, and today I'm going to show you how to make this bee farm. It's relatively compact and fully automated, so once you've built it, there's no more maintenance from you other than coming back to collect your honey. There's 4 beehives here that are full of bees, and in the middle there's a flower that they can pollinate in order to get honey back into their hives. Below that there are some dispensers, and these dispensers have bottles right now, glass bottles, to collect the honey, but you could also put shears in there if you wanted to collect honeycomb instead. For collection, there's 4 chests at the bottom here, 1 below each hive that collects the honey. But if you wanted to merge these into a single one, you could do that as well. So let me hop into creative and I'll show you how it's made. Alright, this build is actually the same on each of the 4 sides. So I'm just going to show you how to build one of them, and then from there you can go ahead and build out the other 3 sides. Or if you don't have enough resources, you can just leave it as a single beehive farm. That's perfectly fine. You will just have slightly less yields because you only have 1 farm rather than 4. The first thing we're going to want to do is harvest the honey. So when the hive's full, we're going to need a way to harvest it, and to do that we need a dispenser directly below it facing up towards the beehive. Then what you're going to want to do is place a comparator coming out of the beehive. So if I go up 1 and I place the comparator coming out of the beehive, this will detect the level of honey inside of the beehive. Some people will use observer blocks instead. The problem with an observer block is it triggers each time the honey level changes. So every time a bee comes back, it will change, not only when it's full. The comparator method will only trigger once it's full, which is what you want. Once you have the comparator there, you're going to want to go out in front of it 4 blocks, and then go down 1 and out 1. So you have 4 in a straight line, and then 1 at a slightly lower level. The reason for this length is as the hive fills up with honey, the redstone will get stronger, and eventually once it gets to a length of 5, that is when the hive is full. So once you have it at the 5, you can go ahead and place another 4 blocks below these 4 with a gap there that you can fill with repeaters going back to that block beside the dispenser. So now as you can see, hive is full, the redstone will go a length of 5, and then these repeaters will bring it back to this block, which will trigger the dispenser. That is all you need to automatically harvest the beehive itself. But what we want to do is we want a collection system as well that will pull it out of the beehive once it is completed. So to do that, what we're going to want to do is put a hopper here facing the side directly below the dispenser. You can put it to either side, you just can't put it to the front or back, and make sure once you're replicating the other sides they all go to the same direction, so they're all going to either the right or the left of the beehive. Otherwise they'll collide with each other, the redstone will collide with each other when you're building the other sides. So directly below that hopper, you're actually going to want another hopper facing down, and this block here is where you will place your chest or whatever else you're using to collect your honey or honeycomb. Coming out of this hopper here, we're going to want to place a redstone comparator. This will test the level within the hopper there. From there, you want to block straight in front of it, and then 1 block, 1 in front and down, and again 1 and down. So you have a diagonal of 3 blocks coming out of that comparator. And the first block you're not going to do anything with. The next 2 you're going to put redstone on top. Now that you have that, you can place another block 1 away from this one. So now you're kind of forming almost a diamond shape as you can see. And coming back, you'll want to place a redstone repeater, and then in the middle of this diamond here, go ahead and place 1 more block, and on that you can place a redstone torch. So this is now an item filter below your dispenser that will only bring in honey. So in order to bring in only honey, you're actually going to need 1 honey to start this farm off. So if I get 1 honey, all you have to do is in this first hopper, is very important that you put this in the correct order. So you're going to want your honey in this first slot, and then it's a stackable item, a stackable item, a stackable item, and then 15 of that same stackable item. So what this is going to do is it's going to have the redstone coming out of the comparator only go to this 1 block. But as soon as another item comes into this hopper, that redstone signal will go out, it will unlock the hopper below it, and that will allow an item to flow through. Now hoppers always start from the beginning and go to the end, so that is why you'll want a honey bottle in the beginning. So what will happen is if another honey bottle comes in, you'll see that it automatically came out because the redstone was extended, this bottom hopper was unlocked, and the first item available went through. So now whenever this dispenser harvests honey, it will automatically flow through down into the chest or whatever other collection you're using. Now that all that's done, don't forget to go ahead and put your glass bottles into the dispenser here, or your shears if you're going for honeycomb. Again, if you're going for honeycomb, you'd want a honeycomb here rather than a honey bottle. But other than that, place your glass bottles in here and you are ready to go on this half. That is actually all it takes to build this farm, one side of this farm. If you duplicate this same build on the other 3 sides, you'll have a full farm. And then other than that, all you need to do is place a grass block in front of this, or dirt block in front of your beehive, and on that, place a dandelion. This will allow the bees to have something to pollinate and bring honey back in. So all you want to do now is go ahead and seal this off so that the bees can't escape. Now what I'll do usually to attract bees is just outside of this hive here, I'll go ahead and place a flower. And then same thing on this side. It's not required, but the way that bees work is they can enter the hive from any side, but they can only exit from the front. So if you have a bee follow you, or you attract a bee or anything, if your hive wasn't already full, they will use this flower. They'll immediately go into the hive if there's space, and then next time they leave, they can only come out the front and into this flower. Then you can have multiple bees pollinating the same flower, so you can have 3 bees, or if you have 4, you can have all 12 bees all out at once collecting this flower, and that's perfectly fine. They'll all go back into their hive after and create honey. So that is this entire build. It's relatively simple, but let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you next time.